I'm gonna tell you a story that you've never heard before. Because no one knows this story like I do. It takes place on the night of June 12th, 1994. And it concerns the murder of my ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her young friend, Ronald Goldman.
I want you to forget everything you know about that night. Because I know the facts better than anyone. I know all the players. I have seen all the evidences. I've heard all the stories. That I did it.
That I did it, but I don't know I did. I can no longer tell fact from fiction. That I wake up middle of the night, consumed by guilt, screaming man. There even has me wondering, what if I did it?
The things I know, the things I believe, you can't even imagine. And I'm gonna share them with you, so buckle up.
I think we are pretty close to a storybook marriage. We had a few arguments, sure, like most couples, but they never got out of hand. After Justin was born, though, Nicole started getting physical with me. She had that temper on her.
If something set her off, she tended to come at me fists and feet flying. Mostly, I just tried to get out of her way. But sometimes, I had to hold her down until she could get herself under control. So yeah, we argued. And we could get pushy about it.
And sometimes, the arguments ended with Nicole in tears. But more often than not, they ended in laughter.
When I got back to LA, Nicole and I got into what I often think of as our period of confusion. This was early April, a month before Mother's Day, more than a year before the murders. And Nicole pretty much began stalking me.
She'd drive by the house late at night, and if Paula's truck wasn't out front, she'd ring the bell. And like a fool, I'd let her in. That thing that wasn't supposed to be happening again was happening again, 2 and 3 times a week.
It was messing me up. All the old feelings were coming back, and I kept fighting them, but Nicole was relentless about getting me back. Still, whenever she broached the subject, I'd cut her off. We're not getting back! Said, we're just doing this.
You don't get mood swings from eating cornflakes. You don't get mood swings from eating cornflakes.
You don't get mood swings from eating cornflakes!
I moved past the front door of Nicole's condo to take a closer look. There were candles burning inside, and I could hear faint music playing. It was obvious Nicole was expecting company. And I wondered, who the fuck was it?
I wondered if maybe Faye was coming over with some of her boy toys so they could all get wild and dirty while my kids were sleeping upstairs. Just when I was starting to get seriously steamed, the gate squeaked open.
A guy came walking through like he owned the effing place. He saw me and froze. He was young, good looking, with a thick head of hair. And I tried to place him. I'd never seen him before. I didn't even know his name, Ron Goldman.
Who the fuck are you? I said. Oh, I'm just here to return a pair of glasses, he replied, stammering. This motherfucker really expects me to believe he's just here to return a pair of Judy's glasses? I replied, oh, shit, they're coming for me.
Nicole came at me, swinging. "Get the fuck out of here," she said. "This is my house, and I can do what I want. Not in front of my kids, you can't, bitch. Fuck you. No, fuck you. I gave you everything you could have asked for. I gave you a Rolex. I gave you a Cadillac. I gave you 2 kids. I gave you Nespresso coffee. And you didn't even drink it. You just keep getting Starbucks. And you fucked it all up, bitch."
Comes at me like a banshee, arms and legs flailing, a duck, and she loses balance and falls against the stoop. Falls hard on her right side.
"Jesus Christ, OJ, let's get the fuck out of here," Charlie said, his voice cracking. I looked over at Goldman. I was fuming. He thought I was going to hit him and got into his little karate stance. "You think you can take me with your karate shit? What, bro?"
"You think you're tough, motherfucker?" I said. I could just hear Charlie behind me urging me to get the hell out of there, and at one point he even reached for me. He tried to drag me away, but I shook him off hard, and I moved towards Goldman. "Okay, motherfucker," I said. "Show me how tough you are."
Then something went horribly wrong, and I know what happened, but I can't tell you exactly how. I was still standing in Nicole's courtyard, of course, but for a few moments I couldn't remember how I'd gotten there, when I'd arrived, or even why I was there.
And now I was standing in Nicole's courtyard, in the dark, listening to the loud, rhythmic, accelerated beating of my own heart. I put my left hand to my heart, and my shirt felt strangely wet. I looked down at myself, and for several moments, I couldn't get my mind around what I was seeing. The whole front of me was covered in blood, but it didn't compute. Is this really blood? I wondered. And whose blood is it? Is it mine? Am I hurt?
I looked down and saw her on the ground in front of me, curled up in a fetal position at the base of the stairs, not moving. Goldman was only a few feet away, slumped against the bars of the fence. He wasn't moving either. Both he and Nicole were lying in giant pools of blood. I'd never seen so much blood in my life. It didn't seem real, and none of it computed. What the fuck happened here? Who had done this? And why? And where the fuck was I when this shit went down?
They offered me $600K in cash, not to dispute that I wrote the book. $600K in cash. They're gonna think I wrote it. So, everyone thinks I'm a murderer anyway. They're not gonna change their mind because of a book.